Good morning, everybody. It's John from Veganism KILLS. It's 6:12 a.m. Friday, July 16th. Okay, today we're going to go over what I found about veganism after about a year investigation. And I'm going to show you how its key characters, talking heads, the vegan elite, are nothing but scam artists. And if they wish to talk to me about it, I run an open forum. You could sit here and we'll debate about it. And you guys can explain yourself why you use a fake name, why your business is not a real charity, it's a limit liability company, why you use surge money to buy an 18-acre spread in the Midlands in the UK. You said it was an animal sanctuary. 18 acres, I should see at least 1,000 sheep, and all I seen was one. You got some explaining to do, you and Dr. Gregor, because to me, you look like a pack of con artists. Okay, I've been on Dun and Bradstreet for about 25 to 30 years. I've been on there so long I can't remember the exact amount of time. All right, I'm registered. I'm a trusted company. I'm a trusted CEO of that company. I'm a data analyst. We find out about companies. People want to invest in a company. They come to me and ask me, what's going on with this company? Who's who? Do you trust them? Is it a risk if we invest in their company? That's what I do for a living. Now let's show you what I found with just the information using the internet. It was very easy. Most people, I find easy, I guess most people must find hard, but here I go. Now, this guy here, Earthling Ed, I was investigating again that 18-acre spread to see if there was actually any animals on there. So far, I've seen only one sheep. Her name's Erica. That's how far I got into investigating this guy. Now, what I found out is that Earthling Ed, known as to the world, he presents himself as Ed Winters, is not his real name. His real name is Edward Gaunt. Edward Gaunt, aka Vegan Jesus as I come to know him as, turns around to people and saying he's a charitable person. His restaurant is run not for profit but for charity, to rescue animals and prevent animal cruelty. Now, I would do that myself if I had the money to. If I see people abusing their horses, not taking care of them, sheep and stuff like that, I would love the opportunity to do that. I would do it myself. I'd go out there and actually be the kind of person to get dirty. All right? But eating animals, I still don't view that as cruelty. It's just a necessary part of survival. Anybody else that tells you that anything else, well, they should seek help for the anthropomorphism. Now, Unity Cafe, it's very easy to see that Ed's lying because the company is registered. Company type is a private limited company which has shares. That's not a charity. Anybody who's been in business as long as I have knows that private limited company is not designating itself as a charity, right? And they had tried to uh, become a charity, and the charity review board looked at it and said no. They found something that people were taking money to put in their pocket. That's why they said no, you're not a charity. Now, Surge, on the other hand, is an unregistered charity, which is totally under control of one person, and you're seeing him right on his screen. He told everybody that 18 acres was bought by Surge. Well, you signed the checks, Ed. You controlled the money. You bought the 18 acres in the UK and England, and you're right now refurbishing it with meadows of wildflowers. You know, animals can't eat wildflowers because a lot of them are toxic, Ed. You have no intention of making that into an animal sanctuary. You're turning that into your Englishman country manor. And the fact also that he used Surge money to expand his business, which is a for-profit business with shareholders. He used charity money to expand it. And he owns a penthouse in London. This guy is living high on the hog by fooling you with his fake vegan Jesus persona. He's a film student. He knows how to do this. He knows how to use presentation to invoke emotions. Alright? Now, we're going to talk about this clown here. And the reason we're talking about this clown is very easy. Because these guys did a video in April 15, 2020, telling everybody misinformation that viruses are spread through the consumption of red meat and the livestock markets spread disease. When in fact, a month prior to this video being put up, Ed was actually flagged on his Instagram account by PolitiFact that that statement was false. Did it stop Dr. Greger and Ed from putting up another bullshit video and charging right ahead? Nope. Nope. Now, I found that Ed worked with Blue Horizon Ventures quite by accident, because when I went to, I seen a link which is no longer there when I was doing a Google search. It said Ed Winters and Blue Horizon Ventures. So I clicked on it. The link is no longer there, but I saved it, and it's in this video here. You could watch it. You could see how I found that Ed was connected to Blue Horizon Ventures. Blue Horizon Ventures, you go to their website, it says click over here, and it leads you right to Earthling Ed's website. This one you see right here. Now, you watch the video, you can see I'm not bullshitting you, but you're going to have to watch the video. You're going to have to do a little work. So Ed works for Blue Horizon Ventures. He's a partner in the business. But then you're going to say, who is Blue Horizon Ventures? After this video, this clown here, this lawyer, this known charlatan, this doctor that's never treated a patient or worked in a hospital, this doctor who calls himself an expert on infectious disease and makes videos, false videos about it, with flagged information known as false, even after they've been told it's false, they still make a video on it anyway. He says he's an expert in infectious disease when you see him waving his head in the video like a friggin' bobblehead. And he tells you he's an expert in infectious disease with no credentials in infectious disease. And his claim to be an expert in infectious disease is that he wrote a small contribution to an epidemiology study in agriculture, not human nutrition, in 1994 in his junior year in college. That's his claim to expertise in the field of infectious disease, and he has no credentials. He's a GP in nutrition. That's it. In Tufts University, he went to Massachusetts. He went and applied for the PhD program. Well, he didn't cut the mustard. He dropped out. And they looked for a license in Massachusetts for him to practice medicine. He doesn't have one there, but he does have one in Maryland, and his company's based out of the UK. Who lives in the UK? This clown. This clown works for Blue Horizon Ventures. Watch the video, you'll see his connection. Now, here goes Blue Horizon Venture. This is very simple stuff. If you understand a structure for an IPO. Okay, here you go. This is their newest staff member in Blue Horizon Venture. Dr. Greger is now an advisor of health and nutrition for Blue Horizon Venture. And, of course, his buddy brought him in, Ed. The one he feeds misinformation to. The one he uses his appearance as a doctor to give credibility to the bullshit they're spouting. That's all it is. And then you look over here. What do you see? Brendan Brazier. Gee. Isn't he one of the executive producers of Game Changers? Well, what is he doing there? And he's a venture partner. He made the video financed by this company to help pitch the products. As a matter of fact, this clown has a vitamin supplement company called Vega, because if you go on this diet, he knows you're going to need supplements. But the best part about these guys, they're scumbags. And I'll show you why. Here, for everybody to see, you see this graph here. Currently, this is how many vegans in the world. This is their goal, to get 22% of vegans, the world, become vegan by 2035, using regulations like CO2 taxes and reallocation of subsidies lead to the substitution of non-addressable conventional animal products. So they're going to take the price of meat, raise it so high so you'll have to buy the cheaper alternative. The substitute that what they're talking about is the crap they sell from these companies, which they're heavily invested in. Do you understand what they're doing? They're trying to take over part of the food market and become immensely wealthy doing so. And these people are all in on it. If you go out and adopt this vegan lifestyle, they get paid for it. So they're out there actively recruiting people. Excuse me for a minute. A little fog in the throat. Can you understand that? These guys are venture capitalists with one goal: ROI, return of investment. And these companies, what do they have to have? They have to have a manufacturing process for their fake stuff. They're going to spruce greenhouse gases all over the place. CO2 stays in the atmosphere for 100 years. Methane stays in the air for 10 years tops. Which one would you prefer? They lie to you. They'll actually substantially increase CO2 in the atmosphere by manufacturing these products. They're going to make the situation worse, not better. And there's other subjects to this are also involved in there. Is that this we have to go back to here. This guy over here has went to a company in Seattle to ask them to bring the price of these vegan products down further. So they're going to reduce the quality, the labor. Something's getting reduced. You're not going to get the same product once this guy tells them to cut the cost of producing the product. The ingredients quality is going to go down. It's already happening. It's happening so fast, it's ridiculous. I do believe they know that the products aren't actually selling, but what they did was they created an ETF. The symbol is VEGN, vegan without the A. And what that does is the ETF will start buying up stock on these investments to keep the price going up, to give it appearance like they are hitting their sales quotas and they are getting people coming in and buying these stocks because they have a great future. It creates an illusion because the ETF is going out there and buying the stock and artificially pumping up the price. Meanwhile, on the marketing side, if you go to Burger King, they'll tell you that nobody's buying that Impossible Burger. So that's why they created the ETF. This is a current occurrence to prop up the price of some kind of business you want to support before you sell it off if you're a venture capitalist. This is a common occurrence. You can ask anybody, like from BlackRock, they'll tell you. Joseph Gunn, I could turn around and just ask him. He'll give me some. Now, another thing they don't tell you, which they ignore in veganism, is that I have several studies in this video published March 4th. Oxalates induce breast cancer. Now this involved an actual experiment because what happened was they were finding women who get breast cancer. They did a biopsy on them, of course. And when they looked at the tumorous tissue, they found that it was full of oxalates. And they were like, why would oxalates be in cancerous breast tissue? So they did an experiment, an actual experiment, which vegans are prone not to do. They went and took healthy epithelial breast tissue. They placed it in a petri dish. Without oxalates, left it there, nothing happened to it. They took another control subject of breast tissue, and they put oxalates in the petri dish with the epithelial breast tissue, and the breast tissue turned tumorous. That's it. It's called science. They replicated the experiment thousands of times. They sent it to other scientists. They replicated the experiment thousands of times. And they concluded that, yes, oxalates, which come from plants, do indeed can cause breast cancer in women. Ask a vegan about this. Oh, oxalates are not a problem. They lie to you. I openly lie to you. Do you know in Australia, sheep, a herd of sheep broke into a patch of spinach, ate it. They ate the whole patch. And in 24 hours, some of those sheep died from oxalate poisoning. If it's bad for animals, it's bad for people. And here I see the dietitian will tell you that anything which is over 50 milligrams per serving of oxalates in it, you should avoid. You should be only ingesting 50 milligrams of oxalates a day or less. If you are excreting through your urine more than 45 milligrams of oxalates a day, you're a candidate for kidney stones, hypoxaluria, and oxalosis and death, and breast cancer. Also on this video, you'll see this is the FDA poisonous database. You're going to see Swiss chard, which vegans claim is a healthy part of the healthy diet. It's listed as a poisonous plant. Lamb's quarter, which vegans eat. They call it medicinal. I see a lady on a video, a vegan lady, pick lamb's quarter out of the ground with some grass, put it in the blender, puree it, put it in the bottle, and give it to a child. The plant is listed on the FDA as poisonous. She's poisoning her kid. Then you got down here rhubarb, poisonous. Down here spinach, listed on the FDA poisonous plant database. It's right there. How vegans can tell you that this diet, which has got poisonous plants in it, healthy, it's beyond belief. It's irresponsible, it's reckless, it's dangerous misinformation. Also, you'll see how you get enteric hypoxaluria. It's very easy. You go to Oxalosis Hypoxaluria Foundation, and they'll tell you enteric hypoxaluria, sometimes known as secondary hypoxaluria, is caused by the body absorbing too much oxalate from the food people eat. End of story. You vegans eat the most high oxalate diet known to man. This is what you're doing to yourself, and this is what you're instructing people to do after you give them bad misinformation. This is another study on publicmed.gov. Exposure to oxalate, a constituent of the most common for kidney stones, generates toxic responses in renal epithelial tissues. Renal epithelial tissues, your liver, your kidneys, the gallbladder. For the healthy diet in the world, being exposed to oxalates actually turns off your immune system. And when you turn off your immune system, what happens to women who have oxalates all through their system? They get breast cancer. See how the studies friggin' tie in vegans? You could read it right here. It tells you how it turned. They actually did an experiment and it turned off the immune system in the lab. And this was conducted in several different labs to prove that the information was correct. Again, something vegans don't have no concept of or are incapable of doing themselves. So there you go, people. So knowing all this information, and these guys are being told, I have told them directly myself, that is not true, that is misinformation. PolitiFact told you it was misinformation. Why did you put it in a video a month later with another known misinformation expert, and you still spouted the same misinformation? Why? Because there's money to be made. You don't go against the company you work for, and that's what they do. They work for the Blue Horizon. They're the pitch boys. Here goes the producer of Game Changers. They even say down here, look at this. Do you know a game changer? Joaquin Phoenix is a paid puppet too. He does voiceovers for this guy. Go check Joaquin, ask Joaquin. You know, you invest in companies, let's see the portfolio. Or did you get paid in stock or other attributes that this company holds? Did they pay you for that? He's over there accepting awards and he's pitching friggin' veganism. That sounds like a sponsor pitch to me. Like he's paid to do that. He sits there and he's just he's an actor. He's just reciting his lines on stage once again. He's on the stage, an actor. He's playing the character. Earthling Ed, film student, uses film techniques to jerk emotions from you to get you to become vegan. What can't you figure out? I exposed this. You know, these people might try to sue me, but that'd be a waste of time because I had other companies try to sue me before, much bigger than these guys. I had a bank try to sue me. They lost. They had to pay me. I had an armored truck company. After I exposed them, they tried to sue me. They lost. They had to pay me. This is why people bring me in. This is why companies hire me and go, take a look at this company. What's going on here? And most companies don't even know why I'm there. They can't figure it out. They just think the guy who pulls in with the Mercedes, they can't figure out the guy who pulls in with the Mercedes, your new hire, who's working for $15 an hour. These idiots can't figure out how I got the car. I own my own business. I like to work with blue collar people. You know why? Because the white collar people tend to be assholes. I like having real friends. Not I'm gonna portray a character then stab you in the back. I'm gonna ask you for money for a good cause and then I'm gonna use it for my own purposes to live a lavish lifestyle. So I can have parties over my penthouse in London with Joey Carbstrong. And then when people start to question what I'm doing with the money from Surge, because it's not a real charity, like Anonymous Voices for the Animals did, Joey Carbstrong will come over and tell Ed. Ed will send them over, and they'll pull the funding from Anonymous Voices. They'll pull the funding. These guys are scam artists. Now, what I presented here, you can go through slowly for yourself. I'll go over it one again. This guy is a stooge for Blue Horizon Ventures. He runs a fake charity restaurant and a fake charity Surge. When I investigated his purchase of the 18 acres Midlands country estate, I looked to see if he had any animals on there. He had one sheep. Her name was Erica. when I was looking for that, I seen a link that said Earthling Ed, Blue Horizon Ventures. I clicked on it. It led me right to Blue Horizon Ventures videos of who they are, and then on the bottom it had a link to Ed's webpage. Ed is connected to them. Then I watched this bold-faced lie between these two people, even though Ed was flagged about a month prior to this video when they posted it, that the information that they're talking about in this video is false. They still did it anyway. Why? Because they both work for Blue Horizons Ventures. I should say Blue Horizon Ventures. Sorry about that, a little tongue-tied in the morning. And this guy over here worked for the Rothschilds for 7 years, an M&A investment. Says it right here, look. Transactions in the food and beverage industry. They're breaking in with vegan food into the food and beverage industry. The Rothschilds invested a lot of money. They want their ROI too. How do you think the Rothschilds got rich? You know, the Rothschilds are notorious liars through their whole family history to manipulate markets. They'll lie. That's been proven before. The executive producer of Game Changers, it's not information, it's propaganda. Paid for by their venture capital business partner, who holds all these companies. If you look around here, you'll probably see Vega in here someplace, but I'm not going to search for it. They probably own a large part of his company too, and it probably packaged it up as some sort of stock. And then you can see I've done my research about the plant-based diet and all its wonderful attributes, and the scientists are telling you, no, 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 misinformation coming out of the vegan talking head, no, deadly, no, disease-causing, cancerous-causing, poisonous. You know, when people tell me something, I don't go and just believe it automatically like the average vegan does because I like the way the guy looks. Or he made me feel good about my worthless ass. I go and check. Now, people are telling me plants are poisonous. I was like, what makes a plant poisonous? I didn't just take their word at, oh, oxalates. So what do? I actually went and looked what oxalates are, noted it, the numerous studies from MPH's Masters of Public Health, the medical community, which has known about acrylic acid diathesis for 172 years, and these people who are much smarter than the average vegan, and the quacks that support veganism. And you'll see, they're telling you straight up, this is how we found this out, through experimentation, which confirms that their theory is 100% fact. That's what science does. Then you see, well, they're saying that there's poisonous plants in the vegan diet. Well, if that's true, the FDA will have them on their database. I go to the FDA database. There's the list of poisonous plants that the vegans have as staples in their diet. Then somebody tells me, hey, look, the vegan diet will give you kidney stones. Here goes a highly prestigious group, foundation, Oxalosis Hypoxaluria Foundation. Yes, they confirmed that you can get kidney stones and much worse from a high oxalate diet, which is the vegan diet. They tell you right here. You can read it for yourself in this video. Then people tell me, hey, you know, oxalates can shut off your immune system. Well, I don't believe you. What led you to believe that? Here's the study. They did the whole study. Not only kidney stones, it wrecks your mitochondria, the DNA, it destroys your mitochondria, stops your cells from oxygenating. It does all kinds of damage. And the scientists are telling you right here how YouTube can let these charlatans all over the place spreading misinformation that's actually killed people. I don't know what the hell is wrong with YouTube unless they too are intending to gain from this push to make more people vegan financially. That's all I could think of. And I'd like to take a good look at YouTube and see exactly how many vegans work for YouTube. And YouTube and veganism don't seem to be a match made in heaven, let me tell you. Especially when the vegan activists went up to San Bernardino and shot up their office. Because vegans tend to have a higher proclivity to be mentally ill. 3 times more likely than everybody else. And those are the people that they support. They'll silence my channel. But the people that basically went up to the office to kill their employees and them if they possibly could, well, they could say whatever the fuck they want. We live in bizarro world. And on that note, I'm out of here. This whole vegan thing is a fucking scam. And on that, I'm out.